Señor Presidente,
President and the people and government of the entire world. Here, as always, we bring the affectionate greetings of our heroic Nicaraguan people, who, as we know and as we say, understand battles, honor, and the glory of defending our principles and values, our sovereign dignity, our rights, and in particular, the sacred right to be free, and thus to choose our own cultural, social, economic, and political model, to make progress in the fight against poverty, faced with all the challenges of these difficult moments in the history of humanity. We stand here once again, proud of our brothers and sisters, our links with other combative, decent peoples, as are all the peoples of the world, peoples and families whom we defend, protect, and sustain in all of our prerogatives and beliefs, in all the cultures and practices that the colonialists and imperialists of the world have tried to attack, and which they have tried to steal from us, without being successful in that effort, and we know that they will not ever be successful in that effort. At this critical juncture, the dilemma is repeated, the eternal duality, the never-resolved conflict between peace and war, between life and death, between the supremacist attempt to appropriate our cultures and our duty to defend our spiritual, social, and material heritage. These are the times that define us. Either we're in favor of peace and life. For Nicaragua, blessed and always dignified, sovereign, free, there is no choice. We are life, health, strength, and steadfastness. When in proud and undefeated hope, we are light and truth, as our immortal General Sandino said, and we are also inspired conscience and courage, willing to serve the superior causes of humanity, the supreme good of all, concord, understanding, sensitivity, fraternity, coexistence, and cooperation among all people, in order to share the goods that belong to everyone. The future is made of the glory of our people, who know that fighting and overcoming are synonyms, that struggle is the highest of all songs, and that to fight means creating the victories necessary for the common good. The human family demands respect and peace. The human family demands solidarity, inspired encounters between beings who are equal in every way, and who are also complementary in every way. The human family demands respect for all of those agreements that were made 80 years ago, when the United Nations was established, in order to stop wars and to build lasting peace and justice, the treasure and patrimony of all human beings. The human family hopes, trusts, proposes, and at the same time insists on and demands union to reach the fullness of intelligence, serenity, wisdom, calm, and humility, indispensable to build and no longer to destroy. We are referring to all the issues: freedom, dignity, and sovereignty. They shall know that we will not sell out or surrender, never. We also hereby denounce the human insecurity caused by the illicit use of implausible pretexts and fallacious, false, outlandish accusations which are merely yet more interference along with the threats of yet more invasions and occupations. We denounce and condemn the absurd manipulations with demented, far-fetched accusations, using the pretext of drug trafficking, which is a plague and trade of rich countries, where millions of consumers live, those powerful countries that encourage impoverished people to engage in more production and trade of such substances, trafficking only wretchedness. We denounce hunger as a weapon of domination, abandonment, malnutrition, and disease. The unseemly, insulting, and immoral treatment of families, women, young people, children, the elderly, who are increasingly seen as a hindrance and banished from life, promoting new kinds of extermination. We reiterate our historical and permanent condemnation of the genocide, the barbaric policy of denial of the Palestinian people. We condemn all the savage, brutal massacres that are perpetrated and spreading in clear view with the complacency of the entire world. We condemn the State of Israel, just as we have condemned and do condemn the policies and practices of the other colonial, imperial, neo-colonial, and fascist powers. We condemn, therefore, the exile of goodness and all the attacks on life, freedom, coexistence, and civilization that we thought we had built. We demand more policies and programs for security, health, education, for a dignified life, water, housing, technologies, tranquil community life, employment and progress within the reach of everyone, for the good of everyone. On the 80th anniversary of the founding of the United Nations, let us promote more and more coherence of human consciousness. We must continue to raise our voices, joining hands and hearts, crying out and fighting, demanding and striving, so that this stage of life on this planet that we share ceases to be marked by death in all of its forms, by the kidnapping of intelligence and soul, so as to become instead inspiration, encouragement, and the strength of hope. We all need to work in sustainable, capable, ingenious, and creative union. We all need to keep making our way. We need to be committed and steadfast to build unity, building brotherhood and sisterhood, affinity and unity, which is the true strength, fulfilling the always further on, which as a deep spiritual currency should be a daily anthem for each person, for everyone. On the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, we all need to change the paradigm. We need to change attitudes. We need to change our behavior. We need to be truly human, to stop repeating the past without results. Unity, along with brotherhood and sisterhood, should be the path that we all take together, with courage and pride, so that we continue to create this other world, which is already taking shape. It must become a new dawn. Poverty, violence, and arrogance are ignorance. To love is to fight, to strive, to fight and to fight on, to overcome, overcome, and overcome. A patriotic nation and dignity, a patriotic nation and humanity. Thank you for your attention.
Muchas gracias. I thank the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Nicaragua. I now give the floor to His Excellency Archbishop Paul Richard Gallagher, Secretary for Relations with States of the Holy See.